Hello everyone, mapagpalang araw sa inyong lahat. Nandito naman po ang inyong lingkod, Agbiag Vlog, #Konse. Ay meron lang po akong ibabahagi regarding sa suspension ng mga schools ngayon, araw na ito, dito sa Metro Manila.
Officials saying the smog came from Taal volcano, but state volcanologists are refuting this. We'll now be speaking with Mariton Borna. She is the chief of the Volcano Monitoring and Eruption Prediction Division of FEVOX. Ms. Bornas, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to the program.
Well, good afternoon and thank you for inviting me.
Pag-asa released information today that there is thermal inversion of the atmosphere over Metro Manila and some parts of southern Luzon. This means that the atmosphere is layered and is unable to mix, and this causes pollution that we normally generate every day, which normally rises to the higher levels of the atmosphere and get dispersed to accumulate over the metropolis.
So what's causing this? Why is it not rising up?
Because of the thermal inversion. So we have low wind speeds and all the particulate matters and all of the pollution that's being exhaled by the cars, generated by plants, they are all maintained in the lower atmosphere. It's the same phenomena that we are seeing over Taal right now, where we have also thermal inversion, very low wind speeds, and very conducive conditions for the formation of fog. So at very low wind speeds, we expect sulfur dioxide to not be immediately dispersed to away from the volcano. And so we have an accumulation over Taal. And yesterday, when we measured 4,569 tons per day of sulfur dioxide, there were reports of towns to the west of Taal Lake being affected or by exposure to fog or volcanic smog. So the wind direction at the time was going to the west. So, and we could see from satellite monitors of volcanic gas emissions that the SO2 plume from Taal volcano was actually dispersed to the west,
And
not to the north.
Not going here to Metro
Not to
Manila.
the north. No. So today, the forecast is going to the east, not to the north.
Okay. So this thermal inversion that you speak of, is this a normal occurrence? Why is it that, at least in recent memory, it's only happening now?
I'm not really an expert in weather. Maybe we can actually confer with our colleagues in Pag-asa. But I'm pretty sure it's not an uncommon experience.
All right. So let's go back to Taal now. We had a reporter as well a while ago, our correspondent, saying that in Batangas you're also feeling that. When can we expect things to clear up there? If it's being caused as well by thermal inversion? Ms. Ornas, go ahead.
So we've had very high emissions of sulfur dioxide from Taal volcano since March 2021. And if you recall, in those years, in the early years of emission, the sulfur dioxide was really very high. In fact, we had a record almost more than 24,000 tons per day of sulfur dioxide emitted on October 15 of 2021. And this is what we are always emphasizing, that our fellow men around Taal Lake, these towns of Batangas around the Taal Lake, have been exposed for more than 2 years continuously to high levels of sulfur dioxide. And the gassing pattern has been that we have had these cycles of increase and decrease in sulfur dioxide. Although the peaks are going down, we still have significant sulfur dioxide emission going 3 years after the start of the emission of high sulfur dioxide in 2021. So right now, we see Taal in a cycle of sulfur dioxide emission ranging from 1,000 to 5,000 tons per day. So these are cyclical events. And this may go on for a few more years. No? We have similar volcanoes in Japan, for example, the Miyakijima volcano. I forget the name, no, but it's in Miyakijima Island, where the volcano also behaved this way, was emitting very high levels of sulfur dioxide for 5 years after the eruption, such that the entire population of the island was actually evacuated during that time.
So is that a possibility here? Is that something that the FIVOX would recommend? I mean, we're looking at entire communities here, and the exposure might be, as you said, for years on end.
Yes, if we hope that the gassing will continue to decrease through time. There will still be sulfur dioxide, maybe for another couple of years, and there will be cyclical increases. But if we look at the trend of the degassing of Taal, we have posted this information in our social media and our website. We can see that there are cycles of increase and decrease, and the peaks are actually going down. So we hope that in a year, in a couple of years, this will be over. We have already advised the local government units of Batangas that they should be looking at the long-term effects of continuous exposure of sulfur dioxide to the population,
Yeah, which brings
especially
me
those.
Yeah, which brings me to my last question. This continuous exposure to sulfur dioxide. You're saying that the LGUs affected must prepare. What kind of preparation are we talking about here? Any intervention that they can do as well at this point? Go ahead.
Okay, so for the times that they already have reports of populations or communities suffering from repeated exposures to sulfur dioxide, they have already evolved very effective measures for addressing this. For example, they have some LGUs have very active rural health centers. Well, let me correct that. Almost all of them have very active rural health centers or city health centers. Some of them have actually temporarily evacuated some villages or barangays where the people are exposed to high levels of sulfur dioxide. And, in the long term, this will have health effects like some people might develop cardiovascular diseases, or some people might have respiratory diseases. But the provincial health office is very much well uh, very much on hand, and they are very much on the ground covering everything. They actually have a we've had several meetings in the local government with the local government units, and the provincial health officers have very good suggestions, no, for handling the long-term effects of this phenomenon.
Well, we're going to have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us today. A really enlightening conversation we just had. Mariton Bornes there of FIVOX. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for watching. Muli, Agbiag Vlog, #Konse. Maraming salamat and God bless us all.